Okay. I did it. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. It is log 61, I do believe. It's 9:08 p.m. It is March 26th, and I can finally stop working for the day. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, I woke up before my alarm. I woke up before my 6:30 alarm because, well, I was super dehydrated last night, so I chugged a bunch of water, so I had to go to the bathroom. But I stayed awake. And I also got out of bed because I thought I had a call at 7. It's Thursday, not Tuesday. I don't have a call at 7. But you know what I did? I used that to my advantage, and I kicked off the day. The day of the schedule that kind of worked. Except now it's 9:09 p.m. and I don't feel burnt out, but I feel exhausted. I used today to its fullest. Like, the breaks were breaks. The work was work. And I still ate and worked out. I did so much today. I colored two and I'd say 3/4 comic strips. I did 2 whole digital illustrations. I did 1.5 oil paintings and other things throughout the day. I paid off a credit card, a bunch of other things. I was so insanely productive, and it's great. However, I still feel completely unfulfilled. I worked my butt off the entire day. I did everything I possibly could have done while staying healthy and not insane, which meant that all of the work I put out today was high quality because I was not going insane. And yet, there's so much today that I still did not do that I wanted to. I am a mortal human being with limited capacity for things. And it's frustrating. It's really annoying. And I think today was also especially tiring because while yes, I did follow the schedule for the first time ever, I stuck to it more or less. I was only late for my class by 5 minutes. But I was fighting myself the whole day. Not as bad as it used to be, where it was trying to keep myself treading water and not sinking into the sea of panic that happens when I don't have enough structure or something. But I was still fighting myself. It felt like trying to tell a toddler to stop playing with toys. I had to get myself to stop doing the things I liked, to do things I didn't like. And even then, I had to stop myself from doing the things I didn't like because I had to rest. It was hard both ways. It was uphill both ways. And I did it. I did it, it's done. And I'm proud. I am proud. But at the same time, why was it so hard? Yeah. But man. And the whole day, for the most part, I think I kept calm. But I was still tense in some areas. I'd say my posture overall was pretty good today. I wasn't tensing my neck or my shoulders or anything. I wasn't too physically stressed. I wasn't letting my body take the brunt of the stress. My arms are looking better already. The psoriasis, my flare-up has kind of gone down a bit, which is very reassuring because that really confused me. But yeah, I was kind of holding my breath while I was doing work near the end of the day. I was pretty chill in the beginning because I woke up and I rose with the sun and I was the day is fresh. I am new, the world is new, and I felt kind of cool for waking up super early, so I felt a little better than everyone else. But then, the day went on and I got closer and closer to 9 p.m. And really my cutoff is more 7 p.m. because I have my scheduled comic time for an hour, break, and then YouTube edit time for like 40 minutes. And that's like set, right? So I can't do any of my other daily work during that time. So really, my free work cutoff is 7 p.m. And I mean, to be fair, I had a scheduled workout today, so I did that. I showered in cold water, which is why my hair is extra fluffy today. It's really funny how it reacts differently to different temperatures. Today is also the last day of week 8, extended. It was technically yesterday, but I didn't do the other tasks in time, and I wanted to really let them sit, you know? And I totally forgot to discuss or describe whatever the third task. I said I was going to last video, but then I described the second one and got distracted. And I remembered it after I was finished recording, and I didn't feel like turning the camera back on. So, task 3 yesterday was I was really excited for it because it was about color schemes. I know. And like color palettes, and I personally am a huge fan of color symbolism, especially when it applies to characters and emotions and little hidden meanings. And I've always been curious, if I was a character, what would my color scheme be? You know, what would my vibe, my aesthetic be? And also because I haven't been able to decide on my favorite color since before elementary school, because I've now come to realize that my favorite color is blue. But in elementary school, whenever we were discussing, you know, the most important things ever, like what your favorite color was, everyone liked blue. I wanted to be different. I did not want to be with the crowd, so I was like, fuchsia, chartreuse, cerulean, because that's what a second grader cares about. Yeah, in that order, mind you, I still remember. Actually, no, my third one was lavender, because cerulean was still kind of blue. Couldn't do that. So, I've since come around, realized I don't really need to care about what other second graders think anymore. I'm free to like blue, because blue is great. And whether I like it or not, if I'm given the choice to, you know, test out a new digital brush or something, I always go back to blue. That's the first thing I pick up, and oh, look at this. I bought a pen set for myself. What color are they? Yeah, so that was that, and the whole thing about the color scheme. It wasn't a series of colors, you just had to pick one, and then describe yourself as the color in first person. Gotta get like a little poetic there, be like, I am blue, I am calm and deep and relaxing and whatever, and mysterious. That was fun. And that got me thinking a little character design choice, you know, because I've been making comics about my personal growth and such with metaphors. Big fat garden metaphor. And there's been a lot of like plant symbolism and stuff, and I've occasionally drawn my little character self with a little sprout on my head, because I've always thought that's cute. But then again, quite a few artists have leaves on their heads as their little thing. And I am still the same second grader, and I don't want to be like everyone else. I have to be unique or original. So what if the sprout is blue? Boom. All I need to do. So I experimented with it a little bit. Did some self-portraits, different variations, different kinds of leaves. And I haven't decided on one specifically, but I like the idea. But what am I doing talking about yesterday? This is today. Log 61. So today I did the other 5 tasks. I had to do 8 minus 3 real quick, and that took longer than it should have. I had an economics class today. I swear I can do math. But yeah, the other 5 were very interesting. I don't really know if they were like super effective I mean, they were very fun to do in the moment, and they're very inspiring. But I don't feel any super lasting impacts right now, but it's literally, it hasn't even been a day, so maybe I should give it a sec. But task 4 was list 5 things you're not allowed to do. So I wrote down some like possible rule breaking things that I would like to maybe do, but I know I can't. And rules are it's like loosely used. It's like societal rules or government rules or whatever. So I wrote down like, maybe I'd like to paint murals without any bureaucracy or red tape. I know, I'm such a criminal. Or just let loose and curse out the people that have been annoying me for months in classes and such, because you know, there are some people that, but other things. That was fun. And then, in addition to that, still part of task 4, you had to draw cartoons of yourself doing those 5 things, and that was fun. Filled up a whole page of that. And it was definitely, that extra step meant a lot, because then you actually visualized yourself doing that, and it was cathartic. It was like, ooh. Yeah, like, it's not necessarily inspiring me to like break rules, but gave me a little more headspace, a little more possibility, like, maybe I can speak my opinion and stuff. So that was fun. And then, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8 were all kind of similar. I don't remember what the 5th one was. Oh, 5th one was you had to list 20 things you like to do. And then you had to write if it was like free or if it costed money to do that, or if you had to do it alone or with people, or if it helped mind, body, or spirit. And a few things like that. You had to write it for every one. And that was interesting, I guess. It was neat seeing all of my favorite activities with like stats next to them. It was like a little glossary, like, what do I want to do today? I want this, that, and that. And I can like look it up and be like, oh, I should do piano right now, or something. But I think it more came in use for task 6, which was describe your ideal day. Now, 6, 7, and 8 I loved very much because it was very much like writing. Well, it was writing, but it felt like, fictional narrative writing, setting a scene, really hamming it up with the wordplay and such. And just imagination, imagining. And I did all of these things during my hour break, which wasn't like super breaky because like I really just worked on that the whole time, but I also had a sandwich and coffee. And I did it with the intention of love. And slight tangent here, but I'm starting to realize the defining thing that differentiates work and rest for me, I think. So for work, I'm in charge, right? All of my thoughts are my thoughts, and I'm using those. During rest time, I empty my thoughts. I allow myself to not know things, and I receive instead. I let myself not be in charge for a little bit. I'm just sitting there, I'm listening to my body. If I'm hungry, I'll eat, and I'll take a walk in the woods or talk to some friends, just recycle the thoughts for a second, clear the desk. I think that is the rest that I need. Rest might also include reading a really good book, which I was doing earlier, but I finished it, so now I need a new one. There's one that I've been thinking of buying. It's $35, probably not including shipping, but I really want it. And I might just get it. I was kind of waiting for some event to happen, some reason to reward myself, but I'm doing a good job. Wait, didn't I get into a show a couple days ago? Yeah, no, I should get the book. Even though I just paid so much money for my spring break. but abundance, right? Week 6, I think it was. Yes. Loving. Treating myself like a precious object, right? Right? Being nice and gentle and fun and coddling. Inner child. Yeah, this is for my inner child. Okay. Going back from the tangent, see, look, my brain is like kind of on a roll. It's like on the tracks a little bit. I know I'm probably gonna jinx myself by saying this, but we're thinking. We're keeping things kind of straight. I'm feeling a little bit like I can handle things. Okay. Task 7, because 6 was describing your ideal day, right? It was just right where you are, like being realistic. What would your ideal day be? And I wrote that. I mean, I got a little more fantastical with it because I imagined that there was an art gallery on top of a hiking trail with a piano in it. That doesn't actually exist near me, I don't think. So that was a little more fantastical than was probably supposed to happen. But I don't know. So, to make up for that, task 7 was describe your ideal day, which is like, just go ham, go crazy, imagine whatever you want, and yeah, just completely fantasize about it. So then, of course, I was writing like, oh, I wake up in my Parisian or Paris adjacent apartment because I work at Fortiche, and I also voice act, and I'm in a band, and I walk in the park and I do plein air painting, and I live above a bakery, and I bought out Miraculous, and I just had tons of fun with it, and it was great. And then task 8 was take a piece of that fantasy world and try and bring it into your current life. And a lot of this stuff was, I wrote, was a little grand, to say the least. But I did mention that in my ideal, amazing world, I'd wake up early every day, and I'd make sure I work out and I journal every morning. And that's kind of what I'm already doing, which is nice. But maybe I'll just try and wake up at 6:30 every morning for real. Maybe. And then I thought maybe also, I'll try and do a plein air painting. I'll try and paint in public more often now. And then, that is when I had a little bit of an epiphany, I think. I realized the biggest thing from that life that I would want in this life was who I was. Like, how I felt about myself. Regardless of, whatever I was doing, this and that and the other thing. Like, the real things I truly want are kind of the basics. Like, I just want to love myself. I want to feel loved. I want to be doing what I love. Be surrounded by good friends, good music, good food. Like, I could care less about where I am or what I'm doing specifically. As long as I'm just feeling fulfilled and feeling loved and safe and comfortable with who I am, then that's all I can ask for. So then I'm thinking, what's stopping me from living exactly like that right now? Because ideal me is exactly as busy as I am right now. Like, I was writing about all these different projects I'd be working on and all these amazing things. I'm working on a million projects right now, probably a little too much right now. It's like kind of a little hard to juggle everything. Because genuinely I have like 7 active projects, at least. But yeah, what's stopping me from acting and, behaving and believing that I am a cool person and I am important and I am loved and, like, literally what's stopping me? There's no evil villain that's saying, like, you can't love yourself until you have this job. Like, no. I'm postponing it to some like arbitrary goal or date. I just assumed that I'd become more confident with time. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. Somewhere along the line, I have to decide that I will be like that. I do. No one can do it for me. So I played with that idea for a little bit, and I was like, okay, what if I acted like that now? Like, I have a lot of things going for me. I have every reason to feel like this. So why not? And so after that break, I had my painting time. And I think I sort of maybe kept up that mentality. I painted, and I think more or less I managed to stave off the perfectionism completely for like a solid hour. I was working on a doodle painting that I had started a while ago. And I had fun with it. I had fun with it. Fun. I did what I wanted, regardless of whatever I think it should look like or what other people would want it to look like. No. I actually said, screw that. I love painting swirls. I'm gonna paint more swirls. And then I just completely followed what I wanted to do. And I like the result, but the point was not the result. The result is just the byproduct of the process, right? All of the week 8 stuff too, enjoying the process, and that's what I was trying to do throughout the day as well. Recognizing that in the middle of the day, in the middle of all this project and this busyness and stuff, that's where the fun is. That's where I secretly feel like the most alive. So I tried to, embrace that. And I'm talking for so long, but I had so many things I was thinking about today that were all related and are relevant. Hollow Knight. Okay? Bear with me. If you don't know what Hollow Knight is, highly recommend. It is an amazing game, and it's difficult. It's pretty tough. And I've realized my playing style for Hollow Knight, which I've fully beaten, by the way. Minor flex. It was very self-destructive. The way I played video games reflected how I saw myself in the real world. And I mean, it makes sense, because, you are you, and you're playing the game, and you're, identifying with the main character, that is you while you're playing. And I would lose so many boss fights because I didn't think twice about dodging, or defending, or healing. I would just run headfirst at the boss and just hack away at it. Maybe dodge once or twice, but usually I just tank every possible projectile. And in Hollow Knight, that doesn't end well for you. You really have to learn how to dodge to beat things. And then, little by little, with every boss, I'd finally be like, ugh, okay, this is a learning run. I'll try and not beat it and just learn how to dodge. And then immediately I get so much farther because I'm actually avoiding the things and I'm not getting hit. Yeah, so the whole point is I was so reluctant to value myself at all, even in a video game. And guess what? That's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it was when I was playing and I had fun. I had fun with the boss, right? Specifically Mantis Lords and Grim Troop, because those are amazing. The fights, when they felt like a dance. When you leaned into the dodges, and you leaned into other dodges, and yeah, you jumped and you hit and you just quick swipes little here and there. Nothing crazy. No massive sledgehammer attacks. Just little by little. Dodging, hitting, dodging, hit. You get what I mean. Balance. You'd beat it. it would be over, and then you'd be kind of sad that it was over because it was so much fun. That is what I want to get consistently, without all of the, you know, self-abandoning, whacking at it, brute force stuff. So, the secret's in there. I've done it many times before, unintentionally. There's so many noises right now, but now I have to try and do it intentionally. And I'm getting there. I am definitely getting there. I feel today and yesterday, and I think a little bit before then, I've felt something. I think it's kind of similar to that floaty feeling that was happening a while ago when like big mental shifts were happening. So I think we're jumping over this hurdle right now. We're midair. And I have to make sure that I'll like get good sleep, be patient with myself because this is a lot. I'm unlearning many years of bad habits right now. I gotta give myself some credit. And yeah, we're doing it. This is cool. It's amazing. Having, like, just feeling safe within myself is insane. But I think that's all I have to say, because I would like to get on with my night. And my friends are watching something in the room that sounds very funny. So, yeah. And I mean, just to be sure before I turn this off that I'm being completely truthful, there are many exciting things happening right now. Yes, very exciting, very awesome, overall, so cool. But it's not without its stress. I am doubting myself a lot in the middle of this. Half the time I'm really wondering if I actually know what I'm doing, or if I'm just falling back into my old habits, and this is like a never-ending pit of stress that I'll never get out of. And then like 5 minutes later, I feel like I'm on top of the world. It's very volatile right now. I'm fluctuating a lot. But I think that's part of the whole, you know, aimless mental shift situation. I don't know. I'm trusting the process. Trusting the process. Yep. And now I'm gonna have pizza and water. So lovely. Oh! And one last tiny thing. It's the end of week 8, which means week 9 is next. And I don't know which one is next. I don't know what word of the week is next. But the book is right here. Compassion. No way. Is that like being nice to myself? Oh. Let's see what... Usually with each week, there's a little blurb here that says like what you might expect to feel this week. It's very interesting. I won't read the whole thing out loud, but this week finds us facing the internal blocks to creativity. It may be tempting to abandon ship at this point. I'm gonna want to give up. We will explore and acknowledge the emotional difficulties that beset us in the past. More childhood digging. Oh joy! I don't mean that sarcastically. It is kind of fun. Oh, undertake healing the shame of past failures. Okay. No way. Guys, I did it again. My emotional whatever predicted the next week. It's about being nice to myself. What? It's about yeah, not being the enemy anymore. Dude, it's gonna get even better. I'm gonna feel even nicer to myself. What? And we're gonna dig up even more childhood stuff, which is crazy. I keep thinking I'm done. And then it asks some personal question that I'm forced to answer, and it's like, okay, there was more. It's so interesting though. Just being able to understand yourself more is so cool. Okay. One last thing. I swear. let's see how long I'm talking. Shouldn't be too long, right? 30 minutes? Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. Whatever. I found out last night that my 1-year-old cousin likes watching these. I've heard that she asks for my grandma's phone and watches me. So, if you're watching this one, hello. Yeah, that's all I really had to say. Just, yeah, I don't really know what else to say to a 1-year-old, but, thanks for watching. Oh, man. You know what? It's nice. I really do. I forget that I'm posting these on the internet where people, like, watch them and people listen to this. What? Dude, if you have some work to do for like 30 minutes, this video's got you covered. I hope you're being so productive in a healthy way right now. And if you're listening, and if you have been working for 30 minutes, get up for a second and get a drink of water, maybe. Stretch, you know? Put your hands over your head. Stand up. Okay, yep, that is it for real. For real, I swear. So tomorrow we will start compassion. We'll be very compassionate next week. Yeah, I'll have to really work on that one because it's, as I said before, it is crunch time, so I'm gonna have to really, this is where the real change happens, you know, we're gonna fight for this. Okay, good night, and I will see you in log 62. That rhymed. No way.